Slowly now, very slowly. There is no rush. There is nowhere you need to be. Nothing you need to do. No sound you need to make. Just this moment. Just this breath. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your shoulders soften. Let the weight of the day begin to lift. And listen, far, far away from the noise of the world. The great desert of Egypt stretches out beneath a sky so dark and so deep that it feels like velvet. Not the sharp, hot desert of the daytime. No, this is the night desert. Cool sand, silent canyons, and above you, oh, above you, the stars. Millions of stars, billions of them. Some are white, some shimmer with the faintest hint of blue and gold. And they do not rush. They have been watching over this land for thousands of years. They will still be watching long after this night is over. They are patient, gentle, eternal. And so are you in this moment. Breathe in slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. In and out. Feel your chest rise and fall. With each breath, you become a little softer, a little heavier, a little more peaceful. Now imagine this. You are standing at the edge of the Valley of the Kings. Not the crowded valley you might see in photographs. No crowds here. No voices. No cameras. Just you and the silence. A beautiful, safe silence. The sand beneath your feet is cool. It has been cooling all evening as the sun sank below the western horizon. The last orange glow faded into lavender, and then into deep indigo, and then into this perfect, moonlit night. You are not walking quickly. There is no need. You are simply drifting, one slow step at a time, each footstep muffled by the soft sand, each step taking you deeper into calm. And there, in the distance, do you see it? Yes, there. A low opening in the rocky hillside. It glows, not with harsh electric light, not with fire, with something softer, something older. A warm, golden glow, like the last light of sunset caught inside a jar of honey. That is the entrance to a tomb, not a frightening place. No, this is a resting place, a sanctuary, a room of eternal peace, built for a young king who wanted nothing more than to sleep safely forever. And tonight, you are invited to share that peace, not as a thief, not as an explorer, not as a scientist with a clipboard and a timeline. You are invited as a gentle visitor, quiet friend, someone who walks softly, breathes deeply, and asks for nothing except a few moments of stillness. The full moon hangs directly above the valley now. It is round and silver white, so bright that it casts soft shadows behind every rock and every dry bush. The moonlight touches your face gently. It is cool and kind. You pause for a moment. You look up at that moon and you think, I am here, right now, in this ancient place, and I am safe. Say that to yourself if you wish, or simply feel it. I am safe, because you are. Let us walk a little closer now, slowly, Gently, your body knows how to do this. Each breath guides you. Each exhale releases a little more tension from your jaw, from your neck, from your hands. If your mind tries to wander to tomorrow's tasks, simply say to yourself, "Not now. Now is for rest," and return your attention to the cool sand, the bright moon, and that golden glow ahead. The air is so still that you can hear your own heartbeat if you listen carefully. Lube-dub, slow and steady. That is the rhythm of life. And right now, that rhythm is slowing down, preparing for deep rest. As you walk, you notice the silence is not empty. It is full of ancient whispers, not words you need to understand, just feelings of safety, of reverence, of belonging. The ancient Egyptians believed that the night was not an ending, but a doorway between the world of the waking and the world of dreams, between the living and the eternal. And tonight, that doorway is open for you, just a crack. You are not entering the afterlife. You are simply resting beside it, like sitting next to a warm fire, like lying in a field of soft grass, like being held. Now you are very close to the entrance. You can see the carved stones around the opening. They are weathered and ancient, but beautiful. The golden glow pulses so softly, like a heartbeat, like a slow, sleeping breath. Do you feel the warmth on your face? Not heat, a gentle warmth. The kind you feel when you pull a soft blanket up to your chin on a cool evening. That warmth is welcoming you. It knows your name even if you never speak it aloud. It says, "Come, rest. There is nothing to fear here. Let us stop for just a moment before we enter. Stand still. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Solid, ancient, untroubled. Look up at the stars one more time. The ancient Egyptians saw pictures in those stars. Gods and goddesses, boats sailing across the sky. A great Milky Way that they called the Nile of the sky. And somewhere among those stars, they believed the sleeping king would one day sail. But tonight, the king is not sailing. Tonight, he is resting, peacefully, just as you are beginning to rest. Take 3 more slow breaths. 1, letting go of the morning. 2, letting go of the afternoon. 3, letting go of everything that came before this moment. There is only now, only this step, only this golden doorway. Now, whenever you are ready, and there is no rush, you step forward. Your foot crosses the threshold. The air changes immediately, cooler, drier, stiller. The sound of the outside world, the soft whisper of desert wind, fades away, and you are inside. The entrance tunnel stretches before you, not dark, not frightening, lit by that same golden glow that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The walls are rough stone, but someone long ago smoothed them and painted them with pictures. You can see faint shapes, birds, flowers, people walking with offerings. You do not need to study them. You only need to let them exist around you, like illustrations in a bedtime story you have heard 100 times before. Familiar, comforting, safe. Your footsteps are very quiet, almost silent. The sand on the floor of the tunnel is soft and fine. It does not crunch. It does not echo. It simply accepts your weight and then settles again behind you. You place one hand gently against the stone wall as you walk. The stone is cool but not cold. It feels like stone that has been loved, held, protected, and in a strange way, it has been. For over 3,000 years, this tunnel has guarded the young king's rest. No enemy has entered. No harm has come. Only the silent, respectful presence of time itself. You walk deeper into the passage. The golden glow grows a little brighter, a little warmer. You realize you are not walking down, you are walking inward, toward the heart of the mountain, toward the heart of peace. Your breath is very slow now, very easy, in and out, in and out. If you feel your eyelids growing heavy, that is good. That is the story working. That is your body remembering how to rest. Let them be heavy. Let them close for a moment if they wish. The tunnel does not mind. The golden light will still be there when you open your eyes again. You walk for what feels like a long time and yet no time at all. That is how sleep stories work. Time stretches and softens. Minutes become hours, become heartbeats. And then the tunnel opens. Not suddenly, gently. The ceiling rises. The walls widen. And you step into the first chamber. We will save that chamber for another chapter. For another night of deep, gentle rest. But for now, you pause at the threshold of this new room. You are not inside yet. You are just looking, breathing, feeling. The golden light here is stronger. It bathes everything in a soft, honey-colored glow. You see the outlines of chests, of statues, of treasures resting silently. And you know, deep in your bones, that you are welcome here. Let us begin to return now, not because you must leave, but because rest comes in waves. This wave is carrying you back toward the surface, toward the cool night air, toward the moon and the stars. Slowly, gently, you turn and walk back through the tunnel. The same golden light guides your way. The same cool air touches your face. You step out of the entrance and into the desert night once more. The moon is still there. The stars are still there. They have not moved. They have been waiting for you, patient and kind. You find a soft place to sit at the edge of the valley. The sand is warm from the day's sun that still lingers deep beneath the surface. You lean back, you look up, and you are not tired in a heavy way. You are tired in a ready way, ready to sleep, ready to dream, ready to let go completely, because tonight you visited a place of eternal peace, and you brought some of that peace back with you. It lives in your chest now, a small golden warmth, a gentle light that says, you are safe, you are cherished, You are allowed to rest. One more breath in, hold it for just a moment, and release. One more, and one more. Your eyes are so heavy now. Your body is so soft. Your mind is quiet, like a pool of still water. The boy king sleeps beneath the golden mountain. And now you will sleep too. Not his sleep, your own. Just as deep, just as peaceful, just as protected. Shoo! The desert moon rises. The stars turn slowly overhead. And you drift. You float. You rest. Good night. You are still resting at the edge of the Valley of the Kings, where we left you beneath the full moon and the endless stars. The cool sand supports your body like a bed of silk, and the night air carries no sound except the softest whisper of wind across distant dunes. Your breathing is slow and deep, and your eyes are heavy with the promise of sleep. But you are not asleep yet. You are in that beautiful, floating space between waking and dreaming, where everything feels soft and possible and safe. And now, without any effort at all, you feel a gentle invitation rising from within you. It is not a voice you hear with your ears. It is more like a warmth in your chest, a quiet pull toward the golden glow we saw before. Your body knows where to go. Your spirit remembers the way. So very slowly, as if you are drifting on a calm river, you rise from your resting place and begin to walk once more across the cool desert sand. The moon has not moved, and yet it feels closer now, as if it is leaning down to watch over you with silver kindness. Each step you take is effortless. Your feet barely touch the ground, or perhaps they do not touch it at all. Perhaps you are floating just an inch above the sand, carried by the same gentle light that fills this entire valley. That is how sleep works, is it not? You do not force it. You do not struggle toward it. You simply allow yourself to be carried. And tonight, you are being carried toward something ancient and precious and deeply peaceful. The entrance to the tomb glows ahead of you, warmer than before, more golden, more welcoming. It no longer looks like a hole in the rock. It looks like a doorway into a dream, and you are ready to enter. You reach the threshold and pause for just a moment out of respect, the way you might pause before entering a quiet library or a candlelit chapel. There is no fear in your heart, only a soft reverence. You know that what lies inside is not a place of death, but a place of eternal rest. The young king who sleeps here has been sleeping for more than 3,000 years, and his sleep is so deep, so complete, so peaceful, that it has soaked into the very stones around him. That is why the air feels so calm. That is why the light feels so gentle. You are stepping into a room of stillness that has been undisturbed for longer than any living memory. And you are welcome here because you come with a quiet heart and slow breath. You ask for nothing except a few moments of shared peace. Now you step forward, crossing the threshold, and immediately everything changes in the softest way imaginable. The sound of the outside world disappears completely, not abruptly, but like a lullaby fading into silence. The desert wind, the distant rustle of sand, the faint hum of the night insects. All of them gently step away, leaving you in a cocoon of perfect quiet. Your own footsteps, which were already soft, become nearly silent on the stone floor. The air is cool and dry, neither cold nor warm, but exactly the temperature of a room where you can finally let go of all tension. You take a breath here inside the passage, and that breath feels different from any breath you have taken before. Feels ancient, feels still. It feels like the breath of the earth itself, slow and patient and endlessly kind. The passage stretches before you, not dark as you might have imagined a tomb to be, but filled with that same warm golden glow that seemed to come from the entrance. Now that you are inside, you realize the light has no single source. It does not come from torches or lamps or any flame you can see. It simply exists in the air itself, as if the stone walls remember the sunlight of 1,000 years ago and are releasing it slowly, gently, like a gift. The passage is not narrow or frightening. It is wide enough for two people to walk side by side, and the ceiling rises high above your head. You never feel crowded or trapped. Instead, you feel held, as if the mountain itself is wrapping around you like a blanket, and that feeling only deepens as you walk further in. Look now at the walls on either side of you. They are not bare stone. They are covered with paintings, though the word paintings feels too loud for what you see. These are more like dreams painted onto rock. Faded images of birds in flight, their wings outstretched as if they are still flying after all these centuries. Scenes of lotus flowers blooming along the banks of a great river, their petals painted in soft blues and greens that have mellowed with age into the most restful shades you have ever seen. There are people too, walking in solemn processions, carrying jars and baskets and beautiful objects toward a young figure you cannot quite make out yet. Their faces are peaceful, not sad. They are honoring someone they loved, and that love has been preserved here, waiting for you to feel it across the vast bridge of time. You do not need to study these images. You do not need to understand their meaning or remember their details. Simply let them exist around you, like illustrations in a book that is being read to you while you drift towards sleep. Your eyes can rest on them without effort. The soft colors and gentle shapes are like a visual lullaby. Every few steps you notice something new. A golden bracelet painted on a wrist, a pair of sandals left beside a painted door, a cat sitting quietly beneath a painted chair. These small details are not meant to wake your mind. They are meant to comfort it. They whisper to you that life here was beautiful once, and that beauty never truly fades. It only becomes quieter, softer, more peaceful. The floor beneath your feet is smooth stone now, not sand, worn down by the feet of ancient workers who built this place with such care that every stone was cut and placed by hand. You can feel the coolness of the stone through your feet, and it is grounding without being uncomfortable. Each step you take makes the softest sound, a gentle brush of skin against rock that is almost musical in its quietness. You are not in a hurry. You have no destination except deeper rest. So you walk slowly, almost dreamily, letting your hand occasionally rest against the wall. The stone is smooth in some places and rougher in others, but everywhere it feels ancient and patient. It has been waiting here for thousands of years, and it is happy to wait for you to move at your own pace. Now the passage bends slightly to the left, and as you round this gentle curve, you notice that the golden light has grown a little stronger and the air has become even stiller. There is no breeze at all here, no movement except your own slow progress. The silence is so complete that you can hear your own heartbeat again. That soft lube-dub, steady and slow. It is the most reassuring sound in the world because it tells you that you are alive, that you are resting, that your body knows exactly what to do. You are not afraid of silence. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is the space where peace lives. And this passage is filled with more silence than you have ever experienced. Let it wash over you. Let it enter your ears and travel down into your chest and settle there like a warm, golden stone. As you walk deeper into the mountain, you begin to feel something new. It is not a sound or a sight, but a presence. A gentle, protective presence that surrounds you like a soft embrace. This is the spirit of the place, the accumulated peace of 3,000 years of undisturbed rest. Every person who ever worked on this tomb did so with reverence and love. Every priest who ever performed a ritual here did so with quiet devotion. Every moment of care, every whispered prayer, every gentle touch has left its mark on the air itself. And now all of that love is flowing toward you, asking nothing in return except that you receive it. So receive it. Let it wrap around your shoulders like a shawl. Let it cradle your tired mind. You are not alone here. You are held by the kindness of people who lived and died long before you were born, and their kindness has not faded. The passage continues straight now, and in the distance you can see that it opens into a larger space. But do not rush toward that opening. There is no prize for arriving quickly. The journey is the rest. Each step is a breath. Each breath is a release. So slow down even more if that is possible. Let your walking become almost imperceptible, a gentle sway from side to side, as if you are being rocked by invisible hands. Your eyes may close now if they wish. You do not need to see every detail. You can feel your way forward through the golden glow. Trust that the passage knows where you are going. Trust that you cannot get lost here. This is not a maze. This is a path to peace, and peace is already inside you. You might notice a faint smell in the air now, very faint, so faint that you almost miss it. It is the scent of ancient wood, of cedar and perhaps frankincense, oils and resins that were placed here thousands of years ago to honor the young king. The smell is not strong or sharp. It is soft and dry and deeply calming, like the scent of an old wooden chest that holds only beautiful memories. Breathe it in slowly through your nose. Let it fill your lungs. It carries no danger, no decay, only the gentle echo of offerings made with love. Somewhere nearby, perhaps in the chamber ahead, jars of these sacred oils still rest, their fragrance leaking out one molecule at a time across the millennia. You are breathing the same air that the ancient priests breathed. You are sharing this space with them across time, and that connection is not strange or frightening. It is comforting. It reminds you that rest is universal, that every human being who has ever lived has needed to lay down their burdens and close their eyes. Now you are very close to the end of the passage. The opening ahead is wider, and the golden light pouring through it is richer and deeper, like honey held up to the sun. You can see the edge of a room beyond, and in that room, shapes that are still too soft to identify. But again, do not rush. Stop for a moment if you like. Stand perfectly still in the passage and feel the cool stone beneath your feet, the ancient air on your skin, the golden glow on your closed eyelids. This is a threshold between two kinds of rest. The passage itself is restful, but what lies ahead is even deeper, even quieter, even more timeless. So let yourself pause here. Let yourself breathe here. Let yourself simply be here, without wanting or needing anything else. While you stand here, think for a moment about the boy king for whom this place was built. His name was Tutankhamun, and he lived a very long time ago. He was young when he became pharaoh, younger than most people who will listen to this story. And he was young when he died, far too young by our measure. But the people who loved him did not want him to be alone in death. They built this resting place for him with more care than almost any other tomb in Egypt. They filled it with everything they thought he might need for eternity: golden thrones and chariots, jewelry and games, jars of wine and baskets of fruit. They painted the walls with scenes of his life so that he would not forget joy. They placed guardian statues at every door so that no harm would ever come to him. And then they sealed the tomb and left him to sleep. And he has been sleeping ever since, peacefully, eternally, surrounded by love. You are not here to disturb that sleep. You are here to honor it. Just as you would walk softly past a sleeping child's room, just as you would whisper in a library full of dreamers, you move through this passage with the lightest of steps and the gentlest of hearts. The young king does not know you are here, and that is as it should be. His rest is complete, but the peace of his rest radiates outward, filling every corner of this tomb, and that peace is what you are here to receive. So take another slow breath, and another, and let the silence of this passage become your silence. Let the stillness of this place become your stillness. You are not separate from it. You are part of it now. The passage has one more gift for you before you enter the first chamber. Look down at the floor near your feet. Do you see the faint remains of footprints? Not yours. Much older footprints, preserved in the stone by some trick of ancient dust and time. These are the footprints of the workers who built this place, the priests who blessed it, perhaps even the young king himself walking through these halls when he was alive and the sun still shone on his golden face. These footprints are so faint that you might miss them if you were walking quickly, but you are not walking quickly. You are barely moving at all. So you see them, and you feel a sudden connection to those long ago people. They had hands like yours. They had hearts like yours. They hoped and loved and grieved and rested. And now they are gone, but their footprints remain. A quiet message across time that says, "We were here. We cared for this place. Now it is your turn to rest." You feel your chest rise and fall one more time, slow and easy. Your mind is very quiet now, quieter than it has been all day. The thoughts that usually chase each other through your head have grown tired and settled down. Like birds returning to their nests at dusk. There is nothing left to figure out, nothing left to plan, nothing left to worry about. The passage has taken all of that from you, not by force but by invitation. You have laid your burdens down on the cool stone floor, and the ancient earth has accepted them. They are not gone forever, but they are gone for now, and for now is all that matters. Tonight is for rest. This passage is for rest, and you are fully, completely, beautifully at rest. Now, when you are ready, you take the final few steps toward the opening. The golden light grows brighter with each step, not harshly, but like the sun rising through a soft curtain. You can feel the warmth on your face now, that same warm, honey-colored glow that welcomed you at the entrance. And as you step across the threshold, the passage ends, and you find yourself standing at the edge of something new, something beautiful, something that has been waiting for you since the beginning of this story. But that is for another chapter. For now, you simply stand there, at the entrance to the first golden chamber, bathed in light and peace and the deepest silence you have ever known. You do not need to go further tonight. You have traveled far enough. You have walked through the silent passage, and the silent passage has walked through you. Something has shifted inside you. Something has softened. You are not the same person who entered this tomb a few minutes ago. You are quieter now, slower, more open to rest. So let us begin the gentle journey back. Not because you must leave, but because sleep is approaching, and you want to meet it in your own soft bed, wrapped in your own blankets, surrounded by your own safe darkness. You turn slowly, without effort, and begin to walk back through the passage. The golden light guides you the same way it guided you inward. The cool stone feels the same beneath your feet. The painted walls offer the same quiet comfort. But now there is something different. Now you carry some of that peace with you. It sits in your chest like a small, warm sun. It will stay with you long after this story ends. You reach the entrance to the tomb, and you step out into the desert night. The moon is still there, patient and silver. The stars are still there, countless and kind. The cool sand welcomes you back, and you find a soft place to lie down, right there beneath the open sky. You do not need a bed. The sand is your bed. The stars are your ceiling. The silence is your lullaby. You close your eyes, and you feel the golden glow still flickering behind your eyelids. A reminder that peace is always available to you, always waiting, always just a breath away. The boy king sleeps in his golden tomb. The desert moon watches over the valley. And you, dear listener, float on the edge of sleep, held by ancient kindness and your own slow breath. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to think, nothing left to be except completely, perfectly, peacefully at rest. So let go now. Let your body sink into the sand. Let your mind drift into the stars. Let your heart rest in the golden light. You are safe. You are cherished. You are allowed to sleep. Good night. You step across the threshold from the silent passage, and suddenly the space around you opens like a flower blooming in slow motion. The ceiling rises high above your head, and the walls spread wide to your left and right, creating a room that feels both grand and intimate at the same time. This is the first antechamber, the very first room the ancient builders created for the young king's journey into eternity, and it is filled with treasures. But these are not treasures displayed in a museum with bright lights and glass cases and crowds of people pushing past each other. No, these treasures are resting exactly where they were placed more than 3,000 years ago, arranged with care and love, covered in a thin layer of ancient dust that sparkles like powdered starlight. The golden light that guided you through the passage fills this entire chamber, softer now, warmer, as if the room itself is exhaling a gentle sigh of welcome. You stand very still at the entrance, letting your eyes adjust to the beauty before you. Directly ahead, you see a large wooden chest, painted with scenes of the young king hunting in the marshes of the Nile. The paint has faded over the centuries, but the colors that remain are so soft and lovely that they seem to glow from within. Blue's the color of a twilight sky, red's the color of dried rose petals, green's the color of moss in a deep forest, and gold, of course, gold leaf applied so carefully that it still catches the light and throws it back in tiny, dancing specks. This chest is not just a box. It is a story carved and painted into wood, a story of life and laughter and the beauty of the world the young king once knew. You feel no desire to open it. You simply let it exist. Let its beauty wash over you like a gentle wave. To your left, you notice a collection of smaller chests stacked neatly against the wall. Some are made of ebony, so dark and polished that they reflect the golden light like still water. Others are made of cedar. They're wood still fragrant after all these centuries, releasing the faintest hint of pine and warmth into the cool air. These smaller chests hold clothing, you realize, fine linen tunics and soft robes that the young king might have worn during his life. They were placed here so that he would have clean garments to wear in the afterlife, a simple act of love from people who wanted him to be comfortable forever. The linen inside has long since turned to dust, but the thoughtfulness remains, a quiet echo of human kindness that you can feel in your heart, even though you cannot see it with your eyes. You take a slow step into the room, and your foot lands on something soft. You look down and see that the floor of the chamber is covered with layers of woven reed mats, their fibers dried and brittle but still intact. These mats were placed here to cushion the feet of the gods. The ancient workers believed, or perhaps simply to make this resting place feel more like a home. They are the color of wheat and honey, and they feel warm beneath your bare feet, even though the air is cool. Each step you take makes the softest rustling sound, like dry leaves shifting in a gentle breeze. That sound is beautiful in its quietness, a reminder that even the smallest details of this place were chosen with care and love. Now you begin to walk slowly around the chamber, letting your eyes wander from treasure to treasure without urgency. Near the far wall, you see a collection of model boats, each one no longer than your forearm, carved from wood and painted with astonishing detail. These boats have tiny sails made of linen, still white after 3,000 years, and tiny oars that rest against tiny oarlocks. The ancient Egyptians believed that the afterlife required travel, that the soul must sail across the sky and through the underworld, and these boats were gifts to help the young king on his journey. They look so delicate, so impossibly fragile, and yet they have survived while empires have crumbled and dynasties have fallen. You feel a strange tenderness toward these little boats, as if they are sleeping children curled up against the wall. Beside the boats, you see a collection of wooden boxes shaped like animals. A cow with curved horns, her body painted in soft brown and white. A lion with a golden mane, his mouth open in a silent roar that is somehow not frightening but gentle, almost playful. A hippopotamus made of blue faience, so smooth and cool that you want to reach out and touch it. These are not toys exactly, though they might have been played with by a young prince. They are offerings, gifts to accompany the king into eternity, each one carrying a wish for protection or joy or safe passage. The cow represents nourishment, the lion represents strength, the hippopotamus represents the fertile waters of the Nile. Together they form a quiet army of love, standing guard over the boy king's rest. You pause in the center of the chamber and turn in a slow circle, taking in everything at once. Painted chests and model boats, linen cloths folded in neat piles, alabaster jars shaped like lotus flowers, small golden figurines of gods and goddesses with kind faces and gentle hands. There is so much here, more than you could ever examine in one night, and you do not need to examine any of it. You only need to feel it, and what you feel is abundance without greed, beauty without pride, love without condition. Every object in this room was placed here by hands that trembled with grief, hearts that ached with loss, and yet those same hands and hearts found the strength to create something beautiful. That is the deepest truth of this chamber. It is not about gold or treasure. It is about the human desire to care for someone even after they are gone. You find yourself breathing more slowly now, more deeply, as if the calm of this room is entering your body through your lungs. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches, your hands, which you did not even realize were curled into fists, relax and open at your sides. You are not doing anything special. You are simply standing in a golden chamber, surrounded by ancient treasures, and letting yourself be held by the peace of this place. There is no demand here, no expectation, No schedule or deadline or obligation. The only thing this room asks of you is your presence, and you give it freely, without effort, without thought. You are here. That is enough. Look now at the walls of this chamber. They are not as elaborately painted as the passage behind you, but they are beautiful in their simplicity. Scenes of offering bearers, men and women carrying trays of bread and fruit and roasted ducks, all of them walking in the same direction, toward the inner chambers where the young king rests. Their faces are serene, their postures humble, their hands extended in gestures of giving. They are not sad. They are not desperate. They are simply doing what they were asked to do, honoring their king with quiet dignity. The paint on these figures is remarkably well preserved, and you can see the individual lines of their fingers, the folds of their garments, the careful details of their wigs and jewelry. Someone spent hours, days, weeks painting these figures, and that someone worked with love. You walk toward one of the smaller chests near the center of the room and notice that its lid is slightly ajar. Through the gap, you can see the gleam of gold and the shimmer of turquoise, but you do not open it further. There is no need. The mystery is part of the piece. Not knowing exactly what lies inside allows your imagination to rest, to accept that some things are beautiful simply because they exist, not because you have fully understood them. That is a lesson this chamber offers you without words. You do not need to understand everything. You do not need to see everything. You only need to be present, and the peace will find you. It already has. You close your eyes for a moment, standing in the middle of this golden room, and you listen. There is no sound at all. No wind, no water, no voices, no music. Just the absolute silence of a place that has not been disturbed for thousands of years. And yet that silence is not empty. It is full of something you cannot name, something that feels like a hand resting gently on your shoulder, like a soft blanket being pulled up to your chin, like a whispered good night from someone who loves you. That something is the accumulated peace of this chamber. You open your eyes and look toward the far end of the chamber, where you can see the outline of another doorway, another passage leading deeper into the tomb. That is where you will go on another night, when you are ready for the next stage of this journey. But not tonight. Tonight you have done enough. You have walked through the silent passage. You have entered the first golden chamber, and you have allowed yourself to be touched by the beauty and peace of this ancient place. That is more than enough. That is everything. So you take one last slow look around the room, letting your eyes rest on the painted chests and model boats and alabaster jars, and you feel gratitude rising in your chest like warm water. Gratitude for the people who built this place, for the young king who rests within it, and for yourself for having the wisdom to stop and rest here. You turn and walk back toward the passage, your footsteps soft on the woven reed mats, your breath slow and even. The golden light dims behind you as you step into the tunnel, but it does not disappear. It follows you like a loyal friend, like a guardian angel, like the memory of a beautiful dream. You walk back through the passage, past the painted walls and the silent footprints, past the cool stone and the ancient air. And when you step out of the tomb into the desert night, the moon is still there, the stars are still there, and the sand is still warm beneath your feet. You find your resting place beneath the open sky, and you lie down and you close your eyes, and you let the golden light carry you deeper into sleep than you have gone in a very long time. Good night. The next night finds you back in the Valley of the Kings, not because you have to be here, but because something in your spirit has been gently calling you back. The moon is fuller now, if that is possible, casting silver light across the cool sand like a blessing poured from an endless cup. The stars are the same stars you saw before, ancient and patient and kind, and the entrance to the tomb glows with that same warm golden light. But tonight you are not pausing at the threshold. Tonight you are ready to go deeper. You walk through the silent passage without hesitation, your feet finding the familiar path, your eyes resting on the familiar paintings. The first golden chamber welcomes you like an old friend, and you pause there for only a moment, breathing in the scent of cedar and thyme, before you turn toward the doorway at the far end and step through into the next part of the tomb. This new chamber is larger than the first, and the golden light here is richer, almost amber in its warmth. But it is not the size of the room that captures your attention. It is what fills it. Chariots, golden chariots, their wood preserved by the dry desert air, their metal fittings gleaming as if they were polished yesterday. 3 of them stand in a row near the left wall, their wheels still intact, their reins still curled on the floor beside them. These are not miniature models. These are full-size chariots, the very vehicles the young king might have ridden across the desert during his life, the wind in his hair and the sun on his golden face. They are made of lightweight wood, curved and graceful, and every surface that is not wood is covered in gold leaf. You walk slowly toward the first chariot, your footsteps barely audible on the stone floor. The chariot is shaped like a crescent moon, with a curved back that would have supported the king as he stood and drove his horses across the battlefield or through the streets of his capital city. The gold on the sides is embossed with scenes of victory, winged griffins and roaring lions, and the young king himself, bow in hand, riding toward an enemy you cannot see. These scenes are not violent. They are stylized, almost dreamlike, as if the battles they depict happened in a myth rather than in history. The gold reflects the soft light of the chamber, and the reflections dance across the walls like fireflies, like distant stars, like the memories of a life lived bravely and well. Beside the first chariot stands a second, slightly smaller, perhaps used for hunting rather than war. Its wheels are lighter, its frame more delicate, and the gold here is decorated with scenes of the natural world, birds in flight, fish leaping from water, papyrus plants swaying in an invisible wind. You imagine the young king standing in this chariot, a bow in one hand and the reins in the other, chasing gazelles across the golden sand of the desert. He would have been young, barely old enough to be called a man, and yet he would have ridden with the confidence of someone who had never known defeat. The chariot feels alive with that confidence, not arrogant but joyful, the joy of a young man doing what he was born to do, moving fast through a world that was still new and full of wonder. The third chariot is the largest of all, clearly ceremonial, never meant to see battle. It is covered in gold so thick that it seems to be made of solid gold rather than wood beneath. The wheels are intricately carved with patterns of lotus flowers and scarab beetles, symbols of rebirth and renewal. The pole that would have connected the chariot to the horses is tipped with a golden falcon, its wings spread wide, its eyes inlaid with lapis lazuli that catches the light and glows with a deep, peaceful blue. This chariot was built for processions, for the king to ride through his capital city while his people cheered and threw flowers at his feet. You can almost hear the sound of those cheers, faded and distant, like the echo of a bell that rang 1,000 years ago. The joy of that day still lingers in the golden wood, and you feel it as a warmth in your chest, a smile that you do not need to show on your face. Beyond the chariots, near the center of the chamber, you see something that makes you stop and breathe. A throne. Not just any throne, but Tutankhamun's golden throne, one of the most beautiful objects ever made by human hands. The chair itself is made of wood, covered in gold leaf and inlaid with colored glass and semi-precious stones. The back of the throne is slightly curved, and on it, rendered in stunning detail, is a scene of the young king and his queen. They are shown in a garden of lotus flowers, the sun shining down on them from a sky dotted with stars. The king sits on a simpler chair while the queen stands before him, her hand on his shoulder, her other hand holding a cup that she is offering to him. Their faces are peaceful and young, and there is love in the way they look at each other. Not the dramatic love of poems and songs, but the quiet love of two people who trust each other completely. You stand before the throne for a long time, not thinking, not analyzing, just feeling. The gold glows, the colors shimmer, and the image of the king and queen seems almost alive in the soft light. This throne was never meant to be sat upon in the afterlife. It was a gift, a reminder of the life the young king had lived and the love he had known. The hands that built this throne knew what they were doing. They poured their skill and their care into every curve, every inlay, every brushstroke of paint. And now, 3,000 years later, you are standing in front of that care, receiving it as a gift across the vast ocean of time. There is no hurry here, no ticket to buy, no guard to tell you to move along. You can stand in front of this throne for as long as you like, and the only thing that will happen is that you will become more peaceful, more still, more open to rest. To the right of the throne, you notice a collection of golden beds, each one shaped like an animal. One bed is supported by legs carved as lion's paws, the wood stained dark and polished to a high shine. Another bed rests on legs shaped like cows' hooves, a nod to the goddess of nourishment and protection. The largest bed is supported by legs carved as hippopotamus feet, wide and stable and strong. These beds were not for sleeping in the way you sleep. They were ritual beds, used during the young king's funeral ceremonies and then placed here to serve him in the afterlife. The frames are covered in gold, and the woven cords that would have supported a mattress are still intact, though the mattress itself has long since crumbled into dust. You imagine the young king lying on one of these beds, his eyes closed, his hands folded across his chest, his breath slow and even. The image is not sad. It is peaceful. It is the peace of someone who has completed their journey and is ready for rest. You walk slowly around the chamber, letting the treasures speak to you in their silent language. A gilded wooden chest shaped like a shrine, its doors slightly open to reveal a small golden statue of a goddess with outstretched arms. A collection of walking sticks and staffs, each one topped with a carved figure of a captive or a god or an animal, their gold surfaces glowing softly. A gaming board inlaid with ivory and ebony, the squares arranged for a game called Senet, which the ancient Egyptians believed allowed the dead to travel through the underworld. The game pieces are still there, tiny carved figures of lions and jackals, resting in a small drawer at the side of the board. The young king loved this game, you realize, loved it so much that his people made sure he would have it for eternity. There is something deeply touching about that, the idea that even in death, a person might want to play games to pass the time, to experience joy. You find a quiet corner of the chamber and sit down on the cool stone floor, your back against a painted chest, your legs stretched out before you. From this position, you can see nearly the entire room, the chariots and the throne, the beds and the game board, the golden staffs and the gilded shrine. Everything is perfectly still, perfectly silent, perfectly at peace. The golden light wraps around you like a blanket, and you feel your eyes growing heavy, your breathing slowing, your mind quieting. There is nothing you need to understand about these treasures. They are not puzzles to be solved or lessons to be learned. They are simply beautiful objects, created with love, preserved by time, and offered to you now as a gift. All you have to do is receive them, and you do with an open heart and a quiet mind. As you sit there, you think about the young king who owned these treasures. He was just a boy when he became pharaoh, probably 9 or 10 years old, younger than many of the children who will listen to this story. He grew up in a world of gold and stone, of rituals and responsibilities, of gods and goddesses who had to be honored every day. He did not choose that life. It was given to him by birth and by fate. And yet, from what the treasures tell you, he lived that life with grace. He hunted and rode chariots and played Senet. He loved his queen and was loved by his people. And when he died, far too young, the people who loved him built this tomb and filled it with everything they thought he might need, including these golden chariots and this beautiful throne. They wanted him to be happy in the afterlife, just as you want the people you love to be happy in this life. That desire has not changed in 3,000 years. It is the thread that connects you to those ancient people, the thread of love that never breaks. You close your eyes for a moment, and in the darkness behind your lids, you see flashes of gold, the gleam of chariot wheels, the glow of the throne, the shimmer of the game board. These images are not disturbing. They are soothing, like the patterns you see when you close your eyes after looking at a bright light. They fade slowly, replaced by deeper darkness, and that darkness is not empty. It is full of peace, full of rest, full of the same golden light that fills this chamber. You are not asleep, but you are very close to it, floating on the edge of sleep like a boat floating on a calm river. And that is exactly where you want to be. That is exactly where this chamber wants you to be. When you open your eyes again, you know that it is time to leave, not because you must, but because you are ready for the rest of your night. You rise slowly from the floor, your body soft and loose, your mind quiet and clear. You take one last look at the chariots, the throne, the beds, the game board. You whisper a silent thank you to the young king and to the people who built this place. And then you turn and walk back through the first golden chamber, through the silent passage out into the desert night. The moon greets you like a friend. The stars welcome you home, and the cool sand accepts your tired body as you lie down and let sleep take you completely. The boy king's treasures will still be there tomorrow night, and the night after that, and for all the nights you need them. For now you rest. Good night. Tonight, when you return to the golden tomb, you feel a new kind of peace settle over you even before you enter. It is the peace of familiarity, of knowing where you are going and trusting that the path will welcome you. The desert moon is your companion, the stars your witnesses, and the cool sand your gentle guide. You walk through the silent passage without effort, your feet remembering every turn, your eyes resting on the painted walls with the affection of a child revisiting a favorite bedtime story. The first golden chamber opens before you, the chests and boats and alabaster jars glowing softly in the familiar light. You pass through it without stopping, nodding to the treasures as if they are old friends, and then you step into the second chamber, where the chariots and the throne wait in their golden stillness. But tonight you do not stop there either. You walk directly to the far end of that chamber, where another doorway leads deeper into the tomb, and you step through into a room that you have not yet explored. This chamber is smaller than the others, more intimate, like a private room where a person might keep their most precious belongings. The golden light here is softer, more diffuse, as if it is filtering through a veil of gauze. And the treasures here are different. They are not chariots or thrones or large pieces of furniture. They are small things, personal things, the kinds of things a person would wear close to their body or hold in their hands. Chests line the walls, dozens of them, some no larger than a shoebox, others the size of a small suitcase. They are made of wood and ebony and ivory, inlaid with colored glass and semi-precious stones, their surfaces gleaming with the soft patina of age. And inside these chests, you know without being told, are the jewels and amulets of the young king, the treasures he would have worn every day of his life and taken with him into eternity. You walk slowly to the nearest chest, a small box of dark wood inlaid with a pattern of lotus flowers made from turquoise and carnelian. The lid is not locked and you do not open it, but the lid is also not completely closed. A gap of perhaps an inch reveals a glimpse of what lies inside, and that glimpse is enough to take your breath away. Gold. Not the gold of chariots or thrones, but the gold of jewelry, delicate and intricate, chains so fine that they seem to be made of spun light, pendants shaped like scarab beetles and vultures and cobras, their surfaces covered with tiny hieroglyphs that catch the soft light and throw it back in sparkling fragments. You see the deep blue of lapis lazuli, the green of turquoise, the red of carnelian, the deep purple of amethyst. These stones glow with an inner light, as if they have been absorbing the peace of this chamber for 3,000 years and are now releasing it slowly into the air. You move to another chest, this one larger, its surface painted with scenes of the young king receiving gifts from foreign ambassadors. The gap in this lid is wider, and you can see a collection of wide collars, the kind of jewelry that would have rested on the king's chest, spreading from shoulder to shoulder like a fan of gold and gems. One collar is made entirely of gold discs, each one no larger than a fingernail, strung together in overlapping rows so that the whole piece moves like liquid metal. Another collar is inlaid with teardrops of turquoise and lapis lazuli, the blue and green alternating in a pattern that reminds you of the night sky reflected on the surface of the Nile. A third collar is simpler, just a single row of golden lotus flowers, each flower with a ruby. You do not touch these treasures. You do not need to. Simply looking at them, simply being in their presence, is enough to feel their beauty and their peace. These were the things the young king wore when he walked in his palace gardens, when he sat on his golden throne, when he rode through his capital city in his golden chariot. They were part of his daily life, as familiar to him as your own clothes are to you. And now they rest here, in this small chamber, waiting for no one, expecting nothing, simply existing in their quiet beauty. There is no sadness in that, only a deep and abiding peace. Everything that was once worn and used and loved is now at rest, and that rest is a gift to anyone who stands before it with an open heart. You turn from the chests to the walls of the chamber, where you notice something you had not seen before. Shelves. Carved directly into the stone walls are rows of shallow shelves, and on these shelves rest hundreds of amulets, each one no larger than your thumb. These are the protective charms that were placed in the young king's tomb to guard his body and his spirit on the journey through the afterlife. You see the Eye of Horus, the most famous of all Egyptian amulets, painted in black and white and gold, its lines so precise that they seem to have been drawn yesterday. You see the Ankh, the symbol of eternal life, carved from faience and painted in shades of blue and green that remind you of the deep sea. You see the scarab beetle, the symbol of rebirth, carved from lapis lazuli and set in gold, its legs tucked beneath its body as if it is sleeping. You see the jed pillar, the symbol of stability, carved from carnelian and polished to a deep red glow. Each amulet is different, and each one carries a blessing, a prayer, a wish for the young king's safety and peace. You walk along the wall slowly, letting your eyes move from amulet to amulet. And as you do, you feel something shift inside you. It is as if the blessings carved into these tiny objects are not just for the young king. They are for you too. Protection, peace, stability, eternal life. Not in a literal sense, perhaps, but in the sense that you are safe right now, in this moment, in this chamber. No harm can come to you here. No worry can reach you here. The amulets guard this space, and you are inside it, and that means you are guarded too. You take a deep breath, and the breath feels different, deeper, more complete. As if the protection of the amulets is filling your lungs and spreading through your body like warm honey. In the center of the chamber, on a low table made of gilded wood, you see a collection of bracelets and rings. The bracelets are wide cuffs of solid gold, some plain and polished, others decorated with scenes of gods and goddesses. One bracelet shows the goddess Isis spreading her wings across the king's wrist, her feathers rendered in tiny dots of gold that catch the light and shimmer like stars. Another bracelet shows the god Horus as a falcon, his eyes inlaid with obsidian that gleams with an almost living brightness. The rings are smaller, more delicate, each one with a stone carved into a shape that holds meaning. A ring with a scarab, a ring with an ankh, a ring with the face of a lioness representing the goddess Sekhmet, who was both a warrior and a healer. These rings would have been worn on the young king's fingers, small reminders of the gods who watched over him. Now they rest on this table, their work complete, their only purpose to be beautiful and still. You sit down on the floor in front of the table, cross-legged, your hands resting in your lap. The golden light surrounds you. The amulets watch over you from their shelves, and the jewels glow softly from their chests and their table. This is the most peaceful place you have ever been, more peaceful than any bedroom, any garden, any mountaintop. The peace here is not the peace of absence. It is the peace of presence, the presence of beauty, of love, of care, of thousands of years of silence. You close your eyes, and the darkness behind your lids is filled with tiny flashes of color, turquoise and lapis, carnelian and gold, the colors of the jewels dancing like fireflies in a summer field. That dance is hypnotic, soothing, pulling you deeper into yourself, deeper into rest. You think about the hands that made these jewels, the goldsmiths who heated and hammered and shaped the precious metal, their faces lit by the glow of their furnaces, their hands steady and sure. The stonecutters who carved the lapis and the turquoise, who shaped the scarabs and the eyes and the ankhs, who knew that their work would outlast them by thousands of years. The stringers who threaded the beads onto fine gold wire, who arranged the collars in overlapping rows, who tested each piece to make sure it would not break. None of those people knew that you would be sitting here 3,000 years later, looking at their work. And yet they made it with care anyway, because they loved the young king and wanted him to have beautiful things for eternity. That love has not faded. It is still here, in every bead, every stone, every tiny hieroglyph. and it is reaching out to you now, across all those years, reminding you that you are worthy of beauty and peace. You open your eyes and look around the chamber one more time. The chests, the shelves, the table, the jewels and amulets. Everything is exactly where it was placed 3,000 years ago. Nothing has been moved. Nothing has been taken. Nothing has been disturbed except by time itself. That continuity is deeply comforting. In a world where everything changes so quickly, where cities rise and fall and people come and go, this chamber has remained the same. The young king's jewels have not moved. Their beauty has not faded. Their peace has not diminished. And tonight, that peace is yours. You can take it with you when you leave, or you can leave it here and return for it whenever you need it. It will always be here, waiting for you, patient and kind. You rise slowly from the floor, your body light and loose, your mind empty of everything except the soft glow of the jewels. You walk back through the second chamber, past the chariots and the throne, through the first chamber, past the chests and the boats, into the silent passage, out into the desert night. The moon has moved slightly in the sky, but it is still bright, still silver, still watching over you. The stars have rotated in their slow dance, but they are still countless, still kind, still patient. You lie down on the cool sand, and the jewels you have seen tonight float behind your eyelids, turquoise and gold, lapis and carnelian. A gentle lullaby of color and light. You are safe. You are protected. You are wrapped in blessings that are thousands of years old. Sleep comes for you like a loving parent, and you welcome it without resistance. Good night. The next night, your feet carry you back to the golden tomb without any conscious decision on your part. Your body remembers the way. Your spirit remembers the peace. And the desert night welcomes you with the same silver moonlight and cool sand that have greeted you on every previous visit. You walk through the silent passage, through the first golden chamber, through the second chamber with its chariots and throne, through the third chamber with its jewels and amulets. Each room is exactly as you left it, glowing with golden light, filled with ancient treasures, wrapped in perfect silence. But tonight, you do not stop in any of these rooms. You walk directly to the far end of the jewel chamber, where a narrow doorway leads deeper into the mountain, and you step through into a space that feels different from any you have encountered before. The passage narrows here, just slightly, and the golden light dims, replaced by something darker, more solemn. Not frightening, never frightening, but serious. You feel the shift in the air immediately, a sense that you are approaching something important, something sacred. The stone floor is cooler beneath your feet, and the walls are bare of paintings, covered only with the natural texture of rock worn smooth by ancient tools. You walk slowly, respectfully, your footsteps barely making a sound. And then, at the end of this narrow passage, you see them. Two figures, one on each side of the doorway, standing as still as the mountain itself. They are the guardian statues, and they have been standing here for 3,000 years. watching over the passage to the inner sanctuary where the young king rests. As you draw closer, you can see the statues in detail. They are life-sized, carved from black stone so dark that it seems to absorb the golden light rather than reflect it. But the darkness is not empty. It is rich and deep, like the night sky before the moon rises. And on that black stone, details are picked out in gold. Golden armbands circle their biceps. Golden collars rest on their chests. Golden sandals adorn their feet. Their faces are human but not quite human. Idealized, serene, with eyes that seem to follow you as you approach. They are not smiling, but they are not frowning either. Their expressions are simply peaceful, the peace of beings who have been doing the same thing for thousands of years and will continue doing it for thousands more. Their purpose is clear. They are protectors, and you feel their protection settling over you like a cloak. The statue on the left represents the god Hormheb, or perhaps it is a representation of a guardian spirit whose name has been lost to time. Its arms are crossed over its chest, and in its hands, it holds a long staff made of gilded wood. The staff is not raised in threat. It is held like a shepherd's crook, a tool of guidance rather than violence. The statue's head is shaved smooth, and on its forehead, a golden uraeus, the sacred cobra, rears up as if ready to strike. But even the cobra seems calm, almost sleepy, its golden eyes half closed. You stop in front of the statue and look up into its face. There is no judgment there, no challenge, no demand. Only a quiet acknowledgement. You are allowed to pass. You are welcome here, but pass with care and with peace in your heart. The statue on the right is slightly different. Its hands rest at its sides, and its posture is more relaxed, more open. This figure wears a kilt of gilded wood, and its chest is bare, showing the sculpted muscles of a warrior. Around its neck hangs a large amulet in the shape of a heart, carved from carnelian and set in gold. The face is younger than the first statue, softer, almost gentle. The eyes are inlaid with obsidian, and they gleam with a warmth that is unexpected in a black stone statue. This guardian is not here to frighten anyone. It is here to reassure, to say, without words, that the young king is safe, that no harm will come to him, and that anyone who approaches with peaceful intentions will be protected as well. You feel a wave of gratitude rise in your chest, gratitude for these silent sentinels who have done their duty for so long without complaint or exhaustion. You stand between the two statues, one on your left and one on your right, and you feel completely surrounded by safety. It is as if they have created a small pocket of peace, a bubble of stillness, and you are inside it. The air between them is warmer than the air in the passage behind you, and the golden light seems brighter here, more concentrated. You close your eyes for a moment, and you imagine the statues speaking to you, not in words but in feelings. You are safe. You are protected. No harm will come to you here. You can rest. You can let go. Everything is taken care of. When you open your eyes again, you feel lighter. as if a weight you did not even know you were carrying has been lifted from your shoulders and placed in the hands of these ancient guardians. You reach out very slowly, very gently, and you let your fingers brush against the stone of the left statue. The stone is cool and smooth, polished by time and by the hands of countless visitors who have come before you, not as tomb robbers but as seekers of peace. The stone seems to hum beneath your fingers, a vibration so faint that you feel it more than hear it. It is the hum of eternity, of something that has existed for so long that time has lost its meaning. You take your hand away, and the hum remains in your fingertips, a tiny reminder that you touched something ancient and sacred. That reminder will stay with you long after you leave this tomb. A secret treasure that only you possess. You look at the door between the two statues. It is not a door in the usual sense. There is no wood, no hinges, no handle. It is simply an opening in the stone, a doorway that leads from the passage of the guardians into the deepest part of the tomb. The opening is dark, darker than anything you have seen in this place, but the darkness is not frightening. It is the darkness of a mother's womb, of a safe cave, of a bedroom at midnight when the lights are off and the blankets are pulled up to your chin. You know that on the other side of that doorway lies the inner sanctuary, the most sacred chamber of all, the place where the young king's sarcophagus rests. But you are not ready to enter that chamber tonight. Tonight, you will stay here, between the guardians, letting their protection wash over you like a warm bath. You sit down on the stone floor between the two statues, your back against the wall, your legs stretched out in front of you. From this position, you can see both guardians at once, their black stone forms rising above you like kind giants. The golden details catch the light and shimmer softly, and the silence here is so deep that you can hear your own heartbeat, slow and steady, like a drum keeping time for a gentle dance. You are not afraid of the silence. You are not afraid of the darkness. You are not afraid of the guardians. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and everything is exactly as it should be. You think about the purpose of these statues. They were placed here not to keep people out, but to keep the young king safe, to ensure that his sleep would never be disturbed, that his treasures would never be stolen, that his spirit would never be troubled. And they have succeeded. For 3,000 years, no one entered this tomb without the statue's silent permission. Even the workers who sealed the tomb after the young king's funeral passed between these guardians with reverence and fear. Now you pass between them with peace. The guardians do not distinguish between an ancient priest and a modern seeker of rest. They protect everyone who approaches with a quiet heart. And your heart is very quiet now, as quiet as the stone beneath you, as quiet as the gold above you, as quiet as the darkness beyond the doorway. You close your eyes, and in the darkness you see the guardians more clearly than you did with your eyes open. Their features are sharper now, more distinct. You see the kindness in the younger guardian's obsidian eyes. You see the patience in the older guardian's crossed arms. You see the golden cobras on their foreheads, not threatening but watchful, like mothers keeping an eye on sleeping children. The guardians are not just statues. They are ideas made stone. The idea of protection, the idea of safety, the idea that someone, somewhere, is watching over you even when you cannot see them. That idea enters your heart now, and it settles there, warm and heavy and real. You stay between the guardians for a long time or perhaps a short time. Time has no meaning in this place. You breathe slowly, deeply, letting the protection of the statues fill your lungs and spread through your body. Your muscles relax one by one, from your jaw to your shoulders, from your chest to your belly, from your thighs to your feet. You are so relaxed now that you could fall asleep right here on the stone floor, and the guardians would not mind. They would watch over you, just as they have watched over the young king for 3,000 years. They would keep you safe until you woke, and then they would watch you leave, and then they would return to their endless vigil, waiting for the next visitor who needs their protection. But you do not fall asleep here. You rise slowly, thanking the guardians with a silent nod and a soft smile. The left guardian watches you with its obsidian eyes. The right guardian watches you with its carnelian heart. You step back through the narrow passage, and the golden light brightens around you as you leave the darkness of the guardians behind. You walk back through the jewel chamber, the chariot chamber, the first golden chamber, the silent passage. You step out into the desert night, and the moon is still there. The stars are still there, and the cool sand is still warm beneath your feet. You lie down, and the protection of the guardians wraps around you like a blanket. You are safe. You are protected. You are watched over by beings who have been watching for longer than you can imagine. Sleep comes easily, deeply, peacefully. Good night. You have been waiting for this night without knowing that you were waiting. The previous visits to the tomb have prepared you, step by step, room by room, treasure by treasure. You have walked through the silent passage and the first golden chamber. You have stood before the chariots and the throne. You have breathed in the beauty of the jewels and the amulets. You have rested between the guardian statues and felt their protection settle over you like a blessing. And now, tonight, you are ready to go further. The moon is full and silver. The stars are bright and countless, and the cool sand guides your feet toward the golden glow of the tomb entrance. You pass through the familiar passages and chambers without hesitation, your heart calm, your breath slow, your mind quiet. The guardian statues nod to you as you pass between them, or perhaps you only imagine that they nod. Either way, you feel their permission, their blessing, their encouragement to continue. The doorway beyond the guardians is darker than before, but you step through it without fear. The passage on the other side is short, no more than a few steps, and at the end of it you see light. Not the warm golden light of the outer chambers, but something deeper, richer, more intense. It is the light of 1,000 sunsets compressed into a single glow, the light of honey held up to the sun, the light of candles burning in a room that has been dark for a very long time. You step toward that light, And as you do, the passage opens, and you find yourself standing at the entrance to the inner sanctuary. This is the heart of the tomb, the reason all the other chambers were built, the place where the young king's body has rested for 3,000 years. And it takes your breath away. The chamber is not large, smaller than the first golden chamber, smaller even than the jewel chamber. But what it lacks in size, it makes up in intensity. In the center of the room, surrounded by a golden shrine that rises almost to the ceiling, rests the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun. The shrine is made of wood covered in gold leaf, and its sides are carved with scenes of the young king standing before the gods, offering incense and libations, receiving blessings and promises of eternal life. The gold is so bright that it seems to generate its own light, filling the entire chamber with a warm, amber glow. You stand at the entrance, not moving, simply breathing, simply letting the beauty of this place enter your eyes and your heart. You have never seen anything so sacred, so still, so peaceful. The shrine is not a single structure, but a series of 4 nested shrines, each one smaller than the last, each one covered in gold and inscribed with prayers for the young king's protection. The outermost shrine is the largest, its doors open to reveal the second shrine within. That second shrine's doors are also open, revealing the third, and the third's doors are open, revealing the fourth. And inside the fourth shrine, you can see the sarcophagus itself, a massive box of yellow quartzite, its surface polished to a smooth, glowing finish. The sarcophagus is shaped like a cartouche, the oval frame that surrounded the king's name in hieroglyphs, and on its lid, carved in relief, is the figure of the young king, his arms crossed over his chest, his face peaceful, his eyes closed. This is not a frightening sight. It is the most serene thing you have ever seen. You walk slowly into the chamber, your footsteps silent on the stone floor. The golden light wraps around you like a second skin, warm and soft and infinitely kind. You stop a few feet away from the outermost shrine and simply look. The carvings on the shrine walls are so detailed that you could spend hours studying them. But you do not need to study. You only need to feel. And what you feel is reverence, a deep and quiet respect for the young king who lies here. He was not a great conqueror or a mighty builder. He was a boy who died too young, and the people who loved him built this place to keep him safe forever. That love is still here, in every golden surface, every carved figure, every written prayer. It surrounds you like a warm embrace, and you feel tears prick at the corners of your eyes. Not tears of sadness, but tears of gratitude that such love can exist and can last for so long. You take a few more steps forward until you are standing directly in front of the outermost shrine. Through the open doors, you can see the second shrine, and through that, the third, and through that, the fourth, and through that, the yellow quartzite sarcophagus with the young king's peaceful face. The layers of protection are astonishing. Shrine within shrine within shrine, each one a barrier between the king and the outside world, each one a declaration that this person mattered, that he was worth protecting, that his rest would not be disturbed. And yet, Despite all those layers, you feel close to him. Not close in a physical sense, but close in spirit. You are standing in his resting place, sharing his peace, breathing the same air that his body has breathed for millennia. That connection is not strange or uncomfortable. It is deeply, profoundly peaceful. You notice that the floor around the sarcophagus is covered with offerings. Lotus flowers, dried to almost nothing but still recognizable. Their petals so thin that they are almost transparent. Jars of sacred oils, their alabaster surfaces glowing in the golden light. Small golden lamps that were lit during the funeral ceremonies and then left to burn out on their own. A wreath of olive leaves and berries, placed on the outermost shrine by the young king's queen, her final gift to her husband before the tomb was sealed forever. The leaves are brown and brittle, but they are still there, still resting where she placed them 3,000 years ago. You look at that wreath, and your heart aches with a gentle ache, not painful but tender. Someone loved this boy. Someone held him and kissed him and said goodbye to him. And that love has not died. It is still here, in a wreath of dried leaves, waiting for someone to notice it. You sit down on the stone floor, cross-legged, facing the open shrines and the sarcophagus. The golden light is warm on your face, and the silence is so complete that you can hear the blood moving in your ears, a soft rushing sound like the ocean heard through a seashell. You close your eyes, and in the darkness behind your lids, you see the young king's face, not as it appears on the sarcophagus lid, but as it might have looked in life. A young boy with dark eyes and a gentle smile, someone who laughed and played and perhaps complained about his lessons, someone who was loved and who loved in return. That image is not sad. It is comforting. It reminds you that every person, no matter how powerful or how humble, is simply a human being who deserves rest. You open your eyes and look at the sarcophagus again. The young king's face on the lid is idealized, of course, made to look like a god rather than a mortal boy. But there is something real in the carving, something that the artist captured despite the formality of the style. A softness around the mouth, a gentleness in the curve of the cheek, a peace in the closed eyes that speaks of a soul that has finished its journey and is content. You do not know what happens after death, and you do not need to know. But in this chamber, surrounded by golden shrines and ancient offerings, you can believe that something beautiful happens, something peaceful, something that makes all the struggles of life worthwhile. The young king seems to know that secret, and his peaceful face invites you to trust it as well. You sit in the inner sanctuary for a long time, not meditating exactly, not praying exactly, just being present, being still, being open to whatever peace this place wants to give you. And it gives you a great deal. It gives you the peace of knowing that you are not alone, that millions of people have lived and died before you, that their hopes and fears and loves are not so different from your own. It gives you the peace of letting go, of releasing the need to control everything, of trusting that life and death are part of a larger pattern that you do not need to understand. It gives you the peace of simply resting, of allowing your body and mind to be still, of accepting that rest is not a reward you have to earn but a gift you are allowed to receive. When you finally rise from the floor, your body is soft and loose, your mind is quiet and clear, and your heart is full of a warmth that you cannot name but that you know will stay with you. You bow your head to the young king, a gesture of respect that feels natural and right. You turn and walk back through the doorway, past the guardian statues, through the jewel chamber, the chariot chamber, the first golden chamber, the silent passage. The desert night welcomes you with the same silver moonlight and cool sand that have greeted you on every visit. You lie down, and the image of the young king's peaceful face floats behind your eyelids, serene and kind. You are not sad. You are not afraid. You are simply peaceful as the young king himself. Sleep comes for you, gentle and deep, and you welcome it like an old friend. Good night. Tonight, when you return to the golden tomb, you do not need to walk through all the chambers again. Your spirit knows the way, and your spirit also knows that the young king's rest is not something you need to approach from a distance. You can simply be with him in the inner sanctuary without the journey. So you close your eyes in the cool sand beneath the desert moon, and when you open them again, you are already there, already standing in the innermost chamber, already facing the golden shrines and the yellow quartzite sarcophagus. The journey was not necessary tonight because you have made it so many times before. The peace of this place has become part of you, and you can access it without effort, without movement, without time. You are here. The young king is here, and the rest is deep and complete. You walk slowly to the open shrines, and for the first time you allow yourself to look beyond the sarcophagus lid to the layers beneath. Inside the yellow quartzite box, rests a second sarcophagus, this one made of wood covered in gold leaf, its surface inscribed with the same protective spells that cover the outer box. And inside that golden sarcophagus rests a third, made of solid gold, weighing over 2,000 pounds, its surface hammered and polished until it shines like the sun. And inside that gold sarcophagus rests the young king's body, wrapped in linen bandages, wearing a golden mask that shows his face as it was in life, young and serene and beautiful. The mask is the most famous object in the entire tomb, and you have seen pictures of it before, but pictures cannot prepare you for the reality of being near it, even with all the layers of stone and gold between you. You imagine the mask clearly in your mind. A young face, framed by a striped headcloth of blue and gold, with a cobra and a vulture on the forehead to protect the king in life and in death. The eyes are inlaid with obsidian and quartz, giving them a lifelike gleam that seems to follow you wherever you stand. The eyebrows are inlaid with lapis lazuli, dark blue against the gold. The face is not smiling, but it is not sad either. It is peaceful, completely peaceful, the peace of someone who has been sleeping for so long that sleep has become his permanent state of being. The mask does not represent the young king as he was in life, not exactly. It represents him as he wished to be in eternity, young forever, strong forever, beautiful forever. And in this tomb, that wish has come true. You step closer to the shrines, close enough that you could reach out and touch the gold if you wanted to. You do not want to. Touching is not necessary. Seeing is enough. Being present is enough. The young king's eternal rest is not a secret that you have to unlock or a treasure that you have to possess. It is simply a fact, a reality, a truth that exists whether you acknowledge it or not. For 3,000 years, he has been resting here, undisturbed, peaceful, complete. The world outside has changed beyond recognition. Empires have risen and fallen. Languages have been born and died. Millions of people have lived and loved and lost and died. And through all of that, the young king has slept. His rest has been the one constant in a changing world. And now you are sharing that rest, not as a participant, but as a witness, and that is enough. You think about what it means to rest eternally. It does not mean being bored or trapped or forgotten. It means being free from the struggles of life, free from hunger and thirst and pain and fear. It means no more sunburns from riding in the chariot, no more arguments with advisors, no more worries about the harvest or the flooding of the Nile. It means peace, complete and total peace, the kind of peace that you can only find when all your work is done and all your responsibilities are lifted. The young king died young, too young, but in death he found a rest that eluded him in life. His tomb is not a prison. It is a sanctuary, and you are standing in it, breathing its air, feeling its peace. That is not morbid or strange. It is one of the kindest gifts you can give yourself, to sit with someone who has found the rest you are still seeking. You notice that the air in the inner sanctuary is different tonight. It is warmer, softer, almost alive. It carries the faintest scent of flowers, lotus and lilies, though there are no fresh flowers here. Perhaps the dried flowers on the floor are releasing their last traces of fragrance. Or perhaps the scent is not physical at all. Perhaps it is a memory, a feeling, a presence that you are sensing with something deeper than your nose. Either way, the scent is beautiful, calming, like the air in a greenhouse or a garden after rain. You breathe it in slowly, and it fills your lungs with peace. You breathe it out, and the peace spreads through your chest. You breathe again, and the peace reaches your fingertips, your toes, the top of your head. You are becoming peace, just as the young king became peace 3,000 years ago. You sit down on the stone floor, facing the shrines, and you close your eyes. In the darkness, you feel the young king's presence not as a ghost or a spirit, but as a warmth, a kindness, a quiet acknowledgement. He does not speak to you because he does not need to. His presence says everything. You are welcome here. Thank you for visiting. I am at peace, and I wish the same peace for you. That wish is not a command or a demand. It is simply an offering, freely given, freely received. You can take it or leave it, but as you sit here, in the golden light of the inner sanctuary, you find that you want to take it. You want to receive the young king's gift of peace. You want to let it settle into your bones and your blood and your breath. You want to rest as he rests, completely and without reservation. You stay in the sanctuary for a long time or perhaps no time at all. The distinction does not matter. When you finally open your eyes, the golden light is still there. The shrines are still there. The young king's peaceful face on the sarcophagus lid is still there. Nothing has changed, and yet everything has changed. You feel different, lighter, quieter, more at ease with yourself and with the world. The young king has not solved any of your problems or taken away any of your burdens, but he has shown you something. He has shown you that rest is possible, that peace is possible, that letting go is possible. He has shown you that even in the midst of death, there is beauty and stillness and grace. And that showing is a gift, perhaps the greatest gift you have ever received. You rise from the floor and bow your head one last time to the young king. Thank you, you whisper, though the words are not necessary. The young king knows. He has always known. You turn and walk back through the doorway, past the guardian statues, through the jewel chamber, the chariot chamber, the first golden chamber, the silent passage. The desert night is waiting for you, the moon and the stars and the cool sand. You lie down, and the young king's peace wraps around you like a blanket woven from gold and silence. You close your eyes, and you feel yourself drifting, floating, sinking into a rest that is deeper than any you have known before. It is not death. It is not even sleep, not quite. It is something in between, something precious, something that the young king has shared with you freely and without condition. You rest in that space, held by the boy king's eternal rest, and you are grateful. Good night. When you return to the tomb on this night, you do not go directly to the inner sanctuary. Your feet carry you instead to the first golden chamber, and from there to a small side room that you have not yet explored. The doorway is low, forcing you to duck your head slightly as you enter, but once inside, the space opens into a long, narrow room, almost like a gallery. The walls are covered, floor to ceiling, with paintings, not the formal, ritual scenes of the outer chambers, but something softer, more personal, more gentle. These are the wall of gentle stories, and they tell the tale of the young king's life, not in words but in images, in colors, in shapes that seem to glow with their own inner light. You walk slowly along the wall, letting the paintings speak to you in their silent, beautiful language. The first scene shows a young boy, barely more than a toddler, sitting on the lap of an older man. The man wears the crown of a pharaoh, and the boy wears a simple kilt and a necklace of blue beads. The man's hand rests on the boy's head in a gesture of blessing, and the boy looks up at him with wide eyes full of trust and love. This is the young king's father, or perhaps his grandfather, passing on the blessing of royalty to the next generation. The colors in this scene are warm and soft, golds and browns and deep reds, the colors of a desert sunset. You feel the love between the two figures, love that has been frozen in paint for 3,000 years but has not faded. That love reaches out to you now, reminding you of the people who blessed you when you were young, the hands that rested on your head, the voices that wished you well. The next scene shows the same boy, a little older now, standing in a palace garden. Lotus flowers bloom around his feet, and birds fly overhead in a sky of soft blue. The boy holds a small bow in one hand and a handful of arrows in the other, and he is aiming at a target that you cannot see. His face is serious, concentrated, the face of a child who is trying very hard to do something well. Behind him, a group of courtiers watch with approval, their hands raised in gestures of praise. This is a scene of learning, of growing up, of becoming the person he was meant to be. The garden is lush and green, full of life, and you can almost smell the flowers and hear the birds singing. The peace of this scene is not the peace of stillness, but the peace of a child fully engaged in the present moment, unaware of the future, content with the here and now. Further along the wall, you see the young king as a teenager, seated on a golden throne. His queen stands beside him, her hand on his shoulder, and together they receive offerings from foreign ambassadors. The ambassadors bow low, their arms extended, their hands holding gifts of gold and ivory and exotic animals. A leopard on a leash, a giraffe with its long neck curved gracefully, a monkey wearing a collar of red stones. The young king's face is calm and regal, but there is a hint of a smile at the corner of his mouth, as if he is trying very hard to be serious but is secretly delighted by the strange animals. His queen's face is softer, more openly joyful, her eyes bright with amusement. This is a scene of success, of a young ruler who is doing well, who is respected by foreign powers, who has a queen who loves him. The warmth of that success fills the painting and spills out into the room, wrapping around you like a hug. You continue walking along the wall, and the scenes change. The young king sailing on the Nile in a golden boat, the wind filling the white linen sail, his queen sitting beside him with her hand trailing in the water. The young king hunting in the desert, his chariot kicking up clouds of golden dust, his bow drawn back, his eyes focused on a herd of gazelles. The young king making offerings to the gods, pouring wine from a golden cup onto an altar covered in flowers, his face serene and devoted. Each scene is a window into a life that was short but full, a life that included joy and duty and love and loss. The colors are warm and faded, softened by time into the most restful shades imaginable. Looking at these paintings is like looking at a family album, not from your own family but from a family you wish you had known. One scene stops you completely. It shows the young king and his queen sitting together in a garden pavilion, a small table between them covered with plates of figs and grapes and bread. The queen is feeding the king a piece of fruit, her hand held gently to his lips, and his eyes are closed in pleasure. Behind them, servants fan the air with ostrich feathers, and musicians play harps and flutes. The scene is so intimate, so personal, so full of ordinary happiness that you feel as if you are intruding on a private moment. But the painting does not push you away. It invites you in, says, "Look, this is what love looks like. This is what happiness looks like." It may be 3,000 years old, but you can still recognize it. Love has not changed. Happiness has not changed. The details are different, but the feeling is the same. You carry that feeling with you as you move to the next scene. The final scenes on the wall are different. The colors are darker, the figures more solemn. The young king is shown standing before the gods, not as a living ruler, but as a soul seeking admission to the afterlife. The god Osiris sits on a throne, his skin green like new growth, his arms crossed over his chest, his face kind but serious. The young king kneels before him, his hands raised in prayer, his face peaceful and unafraid. Behind the young king stands the goddess Ma'at, the goddess of truth and balance, and she holds a single feather, the feather of truth, which will be weighed against the young king's heart to determine if he is worthy of eternal life. You know how the story ends. The heart is light, the feather balances perfectly, and the young king is welcomed into the afterlife. The painting shows that moment of welcome, Osiris reaching out his green hand to help the young king rise, the other gods and goddesses cheering and clapping, their faces full of joy. You stand before this final scene for a long time. It is not sad, even though it depicts death. It is hopeful, even joyful. The young king has completed his journey. He has been judged and found worthy. He is going home. The afterlife, as the ancient Egyptians imagined it, was not a place of punishment or boredom. It was a place of peace, of abundance, of reunion with loved ones who had gone before. The young king would see his father again, his mother, his grandparents. He would sail on golden rivers and eat from tables that never emptied. He would be young forever, strong forever, happy forever. That is the promise of the Wall of Gentle Stories, not a promise that you need to believe literally, but a promise that you can feel in your heart as a hope, a wish, a beautiful dream. You sit down on the floor of the gallery, facing the wall of stories, and you let the images wash over you. The boy on his grandfather's lap, the child practicing archery in the garden, the young king receiving ambassadors and exotic animals, the lovers feeding each other fruit in the garden pavilion, the soul kneeling before Osiris, the welcome into the afterlife. These are not just the young king's stories. They are everyone's stories. We all begin as children held by those who love us. We all learn and grow and try to do our best. We all experience joy and love and perhaps loss. And we all, eventually, face the end of our lives and hope for something peaceful beyond. The Wall of Gentle Stories reminds you that you are not alone in your journey. Millions have walked this path before you, and millions will walk it after. The only thing any of us can do is be kind, love deeply, and rest when we are tired. You close your eyes, and the images from the wall float behind your lids like a beautiful dream. The colors are soft, the figures are peaceful, and the stories are gentle. You feel yourself relaxing more deeply than you have all night, sinking into the floor, sinking into the peace, sinking into the truth that all stories eventually end in rest. The young king's story ended in rest, and so will yours, but not tonight. Tonight, your story continues, and part of that story is this quiet moment in a golden tomb, surrounded by paintings that have waited 3,000 years to show you what love and life and peace look like. You take a deep breath, and when you open your eyes, the wall of gentle stories is still there, patient and kind, ready to welcome you back whenever you need it. You rise slowly and walk back through the first golden chamber, through the silent passage, out into the desert night. The moon is high and silver, the stars are bright and countless, and the cool sand is warm beneath your feet. You lie down, and the images from the wall follow you into sleep. The boy with the bow, the queen feeding the king fruit, the green hand of Osiris reaching out in welcome. They are not disturbing. They are soothing, like a bedtime story read by a gentle voice, like a lullaby hummed by a loving parent. You drift into sleep with those images in your heart, and you dream gentle dreams. Good night. Tonight, when you return to the tomb, you feel a new kind of peace. A peace that comes from having seen the young king's story and accepted it as part of your own. You walk through the familiar chambers without thinking, your feet finding the path on their own, your eyes resting on the treasures like old friends. The chariots, the throne, the jewels, the amulets, the guardians, all of them greet you with their silent presence, and you greet them back with a quiet nod. But tonight, you are not going to the inner sanctuary, not yet. Tonight, you are drawn to a small chamber off the first golden chamber, a room you have noticed before but never entered. The doorway is narrow, almost hidden, but tonight it seems to glow with a soft light, inviting you to step inside and see what has been waiting for you there. The chamber is smaller than any you have visited before, no larger than a modest bedroom. But it is filled with light, not the golden light of the other chambers, but a softer, more colorful light. The light of flowers and oil lamps and precious stones. In the center of the room rests a low alabaster table, and on that table are the offerings. Lotus flowers, dozens of them, their petals dried to the color of old parchment but still beautiful, still holding the shape of the flowers they once were. The lotus was sacred to the ancient Egyptians, a symbol of rebirth because it closes at night and opens again in the morning. These lotuses were placed here to help the young king be reborn each day in the afterlife, and their dried petals still carry that hope, that prayer, that wish for eternal renewal. Beside the lotuses rest jars of sacred oils, their alabaster containers so thin that the light shines through them, illuminating the dark liquid within. Frankincense and myrrh, cedar oil and lotus oil, each one with its own purpose and its own blessing. The jars are sealed with wax, but the fragrance has leaked out over the centuries, filling the chamber with a soft, ancient scent that is neither strong nor weak, neither sweet nor sharp, but perfectly balanced, perfectly peaceful. You breathe it in, and it fills your lungs with calm. You breathe it out, and the calm spreads through your body like warm water. The oils were meant to anoint the young king's body, to prepare him for eternity, but tonight they anoint you, not with physical oil but with the peace that the oil represents. You see small golden lamps scattered around the table, each one no larger than your palm, each one shaped like a lotus flower or a scarab beetle or the eye of Horus. These lamps were lit during the young king's funeral ceremonies, and they burned for days, perhaps weeks, before the oil ran out and the flames died. But the lamps themselves remain, their gold surfaces glowing in the soft light, their wicks still blackened with ancient smoke. You imagine the flames dancing in this small chamber, casting shadows on the walls, flickering as the priests whispered their prayers and sang their songs. The light of those flames is gone, but the memory of that light remains, and that memory is enough to warm this room even now, even after 3,000 years. You notice that the floor around the table is covered with flower petals, so many petals that they form a soft carpet of dried color. Blue petals and white petals, red petals and yellow petals, all of them faded to softer shades but still recognizable. The ancient Egyptians placed flowers on every surface of the tomb, in every chamber, around every treasure. They wanted the young king to wake in a garden, to open his eyes and see beauty, to smell the fragrance of blossoms as he stepped into the afterlife. The flowers have long since dried and crumbled, but their shapes remain, their colors remain, their intention remains. You walk across the petals, and they crunch softly beneath your feet, the only sound in this room of silence. That sound is beautiful, like dry leaves in autumn, like the first steps into a dream. You kneel down in front of the alabaster table, your knees resting on the soft carpet of petals, your hands folded in your lap. The offerings surround you, not as objects to be examined, but as gifts to be received. The lotuses offer rebirth. The oils offer healing. The lamps offer light. The petals offer beauty. And all of them together offer love. The love of a people who wanted their young king to be happy forever, to lack nothing, to never be alone. That love is not just for the young king. It is for you too. It has been waiting here for 3,000 years for someone to receive it. And tonight, that someone is you. You open your heart, and the love flows in, warm and golden and infinite. You stay kneeling for a long time, breathing the ancient air, feeling the ancient peace. Your mind is quiet, your body is still, and your heart is full. The offerings on the table seem to glow brighter, as if they are responding to your presence, as if they are happy to be seen after so many centuries of darkness. You reach out very slowly, and you touch one of the lotus petals. It is dry and fragile, almost weightless, and it crumbles slightly beneath your finger. But even in its crumbling, it is beautiful. It has done its job. It has carried the prayer for rebirth for 3,000 years, and now it is allowed to rest, just as the young king is allowed to rest, just as you are allowed to rest. You take your hand away, and the petal settles back into place, its work complete. You look around the chamber and notice something you had not seen before. On the far wall, carved into the stone, are rows of small niches, and in each niche rests a tiny figure. Not gods or goddesses, but people. Ordinary people, the servants and workers and artisans who served the young king in life. They are carved from wood or faience, each one no taller than your finger, and they stand in their niches as if waiting for a command that will never come. But they are not sad or frightening. They are peaceful, their faces serene, their postures relaxed. They were placed here to serve the young king in the afterlife, to prepare his meals and clean his rooms and tend his gardens. But now, after 3,000 years, they serve a different purpose. They remind you that every person, no matter how humble, deserves rest. The servant rests as peacefully as the king. The worker rests as peacefully as the pharaoh. In this chamber, all are equal and all are at peace. You rise from your knees and walk around the chamber slowly, looking at each offering, each niche, each tiny figure. The golden lamps, the alabaster jars, the dried flowers, the carved servants. Everything is in its place. Everything is still. Everything is peaceful. You feel a deep sense of connection to the people who made these offerings, who carved these figures, who placed these flowers. They are gone now, but their love remains. And that love is not abstract or theoretical. It is real. You can feel it in the air, in the light, in the silence. It is as real as the stone beneath your feet and the breath in your lungs. You are surrounded by love, held by love, carried by love. There is nothing else you need tonight. You return to the alabaster table and kneel one more time. You close your eyes, and in the darkness, you see the young king's face. Not the golden mask or the sarcophagus carving, but a living face, young and smiling. He is not alone. His queen stands beside him, and his servants stand behind him, and his people fill the streets around him. They are all smiling, all waving, all celebrating. The young king raises his hand in greeting, and his eyes meet yours across the vast distance of time. He does not speak, but his smile says everything. Thank you for remembering me. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for receiving the love that was meant for me. Now rest. Rest as I rest. Rest as all of us rest. You are welcome here. You always have been. You open your eyes, and the chamber is still there. The offering still there. The peace still there. You rise and walk back through the doorway, through the first golden chamber, through the silent passage, out into the desert night. The moon is full and silver. The stars are bright and countless, and the cool sand is warm beneath your feet. You lie down, and the scent of lotus flowers follows you into sleep, soft and ancient and kind. The offerings of flowers and light have done their work. You are not just resting. You are being held by 3,000 years of love. Sleep comes for you like a gentle wave, and you let it carry you away. Good night. Tonight is different. When you close your eyes in the cool sand beneath the desert moon, you do not descend into the tomb. Instead, You stay above ground, lying on your back, looking up at the vast canopy of stars that stretches from one horizon to the other. The Valley of the Kings is silent around you, the ancient hills dark against the deep blue sky. The entrance to the tomb glows with its familiar golden light. But tonight you do not enter. Tonight you will rest here above the tomb, and you will think about the stars and what they meant to the ancient Egyptians, and what they might mean to you. The air is cool and still, and the sand supports your body like a bed made of silk and down. You are comfortable. You are safe. You are exactly where you need to be. The stars above the desert are unlike stars anywhere else in the world. There is no city light here, no haze, no pollution. Just darkness, deep and velvety. And in that darkness, stars upon stars upon stars. Some are bright and white, some are faint and gold, and some seem to shimmer with colors you cannot name. The ancient Egyptians believed that the stars were not just balls of gas burning millions of miles away. They believed that the stars were souls, the souls of the blessed dead who had been granted eternal life in the sky. The pharaohs, they believed, became stars after their death. They sailed across the heavens in golden boats, joining the circumpolar stars that never set, living forever in the land of the gods. Tutankhamun, the young king, became a star. And tonight, somewhere above you, he is sailing through the darkness, peaceful and free. You look up at the sky and try to find him. Not his star specifically, because you do not know which one it is, but the idea of his star. Somewhere up there, in that endless expanse of light, the young king is resting. He is not trapped in a tomb, not weighed down by golden masks and stone sarcophagi. He is light, pure light, moving through the heavens without effort or pain. The tomb you have been visiting is not his prison. It is his memory, the place where his body rests while his spirit sails among the stars. You have spent so many nights in that tomb, sitting with his body, feeling his peace. Tonight, you will sit with his spirit, watching the stars, feeling the vastness of eternity, and letting that vastness hold you. The constellation that the ancient Egyptians called Mesektiu, the Great Bear, is visible low on the northern horizon. They believed that this constellation was the home of the souls of the dead, a place of refreshment and renewal. The pharaoh would join these stars after his death, becoming one of the imperishable ones, the ones who never set, who never die. You look at the Great Bear, and you imagine the young king there, not as a bear but as a light, a point of gold in the darkness. He is not alone. His ancestors are there, the pharaohs who came before him, and his descendants too, though they have not yet been born. The stars are a family, and the young king has found his place among them. You turn your head slightly and look at the Milky Way, that great river of stars that stretches across the entire sky. The ancient Egyptians called it the Nile of the sky, the heavenly river that mirrored the earthly river below. The souls of the dead sailed on this river, just as the living sailed on the Nile. The young king's golden boat is somewhere on that river, drifting with the current, carried by the same gentle flow that carries the stars across the night. You close your eyes for a moment, and you can almost see the boat, small and golden, moving slowly through the sea of stars. The young king sits in the boat, his queen beside him, and together they watch the constellations drift past like islands in a dream. When you open your eyes again, you notice a shooting star, a brief streak of light that crosses the sky and disappears. The ancient Egyptians believed that shooting stars were messages from the gods, signs that something important was happening in the heavens. Perhaps this shooting star is a message for you. Perhaps it is the young king himself, waving from his boat, letting you know that he sees you, that he is grateful for your visits, that he wishes you peace. Or perhaps it is just a shooting star, a piece of rock burning up in the atmosphere, beautiful and random. Either way, it makes you smile. The universe is full of beauty, and tonight you are here to receive it. Lying on cool sand beneath a billion stars, connected to the young king by nothing more than your own quiet attention. You think about the ancient Egyptians and their love of the stars. They built their temples and tombs to align with the stars, to capture the light of certain constellations on certain nights of the year. They believed that the stars had power, that they could influence the lives of people on earth, that they could guide the souls of the dead to their eternal rest. You do not need to believe any of that literally, but you can appreciate the beauty of the belief, the poetry of it, the way it turns the cold, indifferent universe into a place of meaning and connection. The young king's star is up there somewhere, and even if it is just a ball of gas burning millions of miles away, it is also a symbol, a reminder that rest is possible, that peace is possible, that eternity is not something to fear. You take a deep breath, and the cool desert air fills your lungs. You exhale slowly, and the air rises into the sky, mixing with the atmosphere, becoming part of the same air that surrounds the stars. In a very real sense, you are connected to the stars right now because the atoms in your body were forged in stars billions of years ago. You are stardust, just as the young king is stardust, just as everything is stardust. The separation between you and the stars is an illusion. You are already there. You have always been there. The young king's star is not above you. It is within you, within your atoms, within your breath, within your peace. That is a deep thought, deeper than you need to go tonight, but it rises in your mind anyway, and it fills you with a sense of wonder that is not quite sleep but is very close to it. The moon has moved across the sky while you were watching the stars. It is lower now, closer to the western horizon, its silver light softer than before. The entrance to the tomb still glows with its golden warmth, but that glow seems fainter now, as if the tomb itself is sleeping, as if the young king's body is resting more deeply than ever. You are not inside the tomb tonight, but you are still connected to it. The tomb is the anchor, the place where the young king's memory is preserved, and the stars are the journey, the place where his spirit roams free. Both are real, both are true, and you are here lying between them, held by the earth below and the sky above, part of both worlds. resting in the space between. You close your eyes, and the stars remain behind your lids, tiny pinpricks of light in the darkness. They are not as bright as they were when your eyes were open, but they are still there, still watching, still patient. You breathe slowly, deeply, and with each breath, you feel yourself becoming lighter, as if the stars are pulling you gently upward, not to take you away from your body, but to remind you that you are more than your body. You are also breath, also light, also peace. The young king knew that. That is why he was not afraid of death. That is why he rests so peacefully in his golden tomb. He understood that the body is temporary, but the spirit, the light, the star within is eternal. You are beginning to understand that too, not with your mind but with your heart, not as a belief but as a feeling. You stay beneath the stars for a long time or perhaps no time at all. When you finally open your eyes, the moon has set and the stars are brighter than ever. The eastern horizon is beginning to lighten, just a faint glow of pink and gold, the promise of dawn. But you will not be here for dawn. You will be sleeping, wrapped in the peace of the tomb and the vastness of the sky. You turn onto your side, curling into a comfortable position, your head resting on the cool sand, your knees drawn up toward your chest. The stars watch over you, and somewhere among them, the young king watches too, not as a ghost but as a light, a presence, a wish for your peace. You close your eyes one last time, and the stars fade into the darkness of sleep. Good night. This is the final night of our journey together, but it is not an ending. It is a resting place, a destination you have been moving toward since the very first time you walked across the cool sand beneath the desert moon. All the chapters before this one have been preparing you for this moment, this night, this deep and complete rest. The silent passage, the golden chambers, the chariots and throne, the jewels and amulets, the guardian statues, the inner sanctuary, the wall of gentle stories, the offerings of flowers and light, the stars above the tomb. All of them have been gifts, and tonight you receive the final gift. The gift of golden sleep. The gift of rest so deep that you forget where you end and the peace begins. The gift of letting go completely, trusting that you are safe, trusting that you are loved, trusting that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You are back inside the tomb tonight, not because you need to be, but because you want to be. The familiar golden light surrounds you, warm and soft and kind. You walk through the silent passage one last time, your footsteps barely making a sound, your breath slow and even. The first golden chamber welcomes you with its painted chests and model boats, and you pause for a moment to say goodbye, though goodbye is not quite the right word. You are not leaving forever. You are simply moving deeper into rest, and these treasures will be here whenever you return. The chariot chamber, the jewel chamber, the guardian statues, all of them nod to you as you pass, acknowledging your presence, blessing your journey. And then you are in the inner sanctuary, facing the golden shrines and the yellow quartzite sarcophagus. the young king's peaceful face carved into the lid. But tonight something is different. The sarcophagus is still there, the shrines are still there, but the young king is not only there. He is also here with you, not as a body but as a presence. A warm, gentle, loving presence that fills the entire chamber. You feel him beside you, not in a frightening way, but in the way you might feel a loved one sitting next to you in silence, comfortable and known. He does not speak because words are not needed. His presence says everything. You are welcome here. Thank you for visiting me. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for receiving the peace of this place. And now rest. Rest as I rest. Rest completely. Rest forever, if only for this one night. You sit down on the stone floor, cross-legged, facing the shrines. The golden light is brighter than ever. Or perhaps it only seems brighter because your heart is more open. You close your eyes, and the light does not fade. It grows stronger, filling the darkness behind your lids with a warm, amber glow. That glow spreads through your body, starting at the top of your head and moving slowly downward. It softens your forehead, your eyes, your jaw. It relaxes your neck and shoulders, your chest and belly. It loosens your hips and thighs, your knees and calves. It warms your feet and toes until they feel as if they are resting in a bath of golden honey. Your entire body is bathed in light, held in light, becoming light. You have never felt so relaxed, so safe, so completely at peace. You breathe in, and the golden light enters your lungs. You breathe out, and the golden light spreads through your blood. You breathe in again, and the light reaches your heart. You breathe out, and your heart opens like a flower. All the worries you have been carrying, all the fears, all the tensions, all the thoughts that chase each other through your mind, they dissolve in the golden light. Not because you have fought them or conquered them, but because the light is stronger than they are, and the light has decided that tonight you will rest. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to think anything. You do not need to be anything except present, breathing, resting. The golden light takes care of everything else. You are aware, dimly, of the young king's presence beside you. He is not sitting or standing. He is simply there, a warmth at your side, a kindness in the air. He is not watching you or judging you. He is accompanying you, sharing this moment of deep rest with you, the way one sleeper might share a quiet room with another. You are two souls resting together, separated by 3,000 years but joined by the simple need for peace. The young king found his peace in this tomb, and tonight you are finding yours. Not the same peace, perhaps, but a peace that is related, a peace that recognizes itself in another. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And in this moment, with the young king beside you and the golden light around you, aloneness is a forgotten memory. You sink deeper into the rest. The floor beneath you is not stone anymore. It is soft, like a cloud, like a bed of feathers, like the arms of someone who loves you. The walls of the sanctuary have disappeared, or perhaps they have become the sky, vast and starry and infinite. The golden shrines are still there, but they are also stars, also lights, also points of peace in an endless sea of calm. The young king is beside you, but he is also within you, his peace merging with your peace until there is no difference. You are not a visitor in his tomb anymore. You are a part of it, a part of the rest, a part of the golden light that has filled this place for 3,000 years and will fill it for 3,000 more. Your breathing is so slow now, so shallow, that you can barely feel it. But you are still breathing, still alive, still present. Your mind is quiet, quieter than it has ever been. The thoughts that usually fill your head have gone to sleep, curled up in a corner of your brain like tired puppies. There is nothing left to think about. There is nothing left to figure out. There is only this moment, this rest, this golden light. You are not asleep, not yet, but you are floating on the edge of sleep, and the edge is soft and welcoming. You could tip over into sleep at any moment, or you could stay here balanced on the edge for as long as you like. Either way, you are resting. Either way, you are at peace. The young king's presence beside you grows warmer, more loving. You feel his gratitude, not for anything you have done, but simply for your presence, for being here, for sharing this space with him. He has been alone in this tomb for so long, not lonely, but alone. And now you are here, and the aloneness has become togetherness, not in a needy way, but in a generous way. You are giving him the gift of your attention, and he is giving you the gift of his peace. It is an exchange, but not a transaction. It is simply two beings, resting together, holding each other in the golden light. You do not need to understand it. You only need to feel it. And you do. You feel it in your chest, warm and soft and infinite. You open your eyes one last time. The golden shrines are still there, glowing in the soft light. The young king's face on the sarcophagus lid is still there, peaceful and serene. But you are not looking at those things anymore. You are looking through them, beyond them, into the golden light itself. And the golden light is looking back at you, not with eyes, but with a presence, a warmth, a love that has no name. You are held by that love. You are surrounded by that love. You are filled with that love. And in that love, you find the rest you have been seeking, not just for tonight, but for always. Because rest is not something you do. Rest is something you are. And tonight, you are rest itself. You close your eyes, and the golden light does not fade. It becomes your entire world, warm and soft and infinite. You are no longer aware of your body, no longer aware of the chamber, no longer aware of the young king or the tomb or the desert above. You are only aware of the light, and the light is peace. Drift now. Drift into the golden light. Let it carry you, like a boat on a gentle river, like a cloud in a summer sky, like a star in the vast darkness of space. There is nothing to hold on to, and nothing to let go of. There is only the drifting, the floating, the resting. The young king drifts beside you. his peace mingling with yours, and together you drift into the deepest sleep you have ever known. This is the end of the story, but it is not the end of your rest. The rest continues after the last word, after the last breath, after the last moment of listening. You carry the golden light with you into your own bed, into your own darkness, into your own sleep. The young king's peace becomes your peace. The tomb's stillness becomes your stillness. The stars above the desert become the stars behind your closed eyelids. And you rest completely, perfectly, beautifully. There is nothing left to do. There is nothing left to think. There is only the rest, and the rest is golden. Good night. Sleep deeply, and may the golden light of Tutankhamun's dream carry you all the way to morning.